So would be my first anime review, opinionated, which I'm going to call ARO. It could be AOR, but for some reason that doesn't click as much to me. Anyways, to start this off, I'm going to explain some things which I'm going to do with my review opinionated. There will be spoilers of the anime, and I might spoil some things like if it was manga adapted, and I read the manga before the anime, there might be spoilers of the anime, which I will hopefully remember to put in as text on the screen to let you know to skip this section if I do start talking about manga spoilers, because a lot of my opinions are based off of knowing what already has happened, and it's just better to have a conversation then. So, the anime I literally just finished watching is Akagami no Shirayuki-hime, which translates to Snow White with the red hair. And I have read the manga first. I have read it. I don't even remember when I first read it. But I loved it so much. I spent numerous no sleep nights just to stay up and read this. Maybe I had like maybe 2 or 3 hours of sleep, but it means absolutely nothing to your body. You need at least 8 hours of sleep when you're a teenager in high school. You need all that dang sleep. So yeah, I have read it. I read it up to the updated part. I read it on mangahere.co, so just so you guys know. I read on there, and then once I read all up to the updated, I just kind of like stopped because it's gonna take a while for it to be updated again. And then maybe a few months later, 6 months later, I don't remember, but then I found out that an anime adapted version was coming out, and I got so excited. It was just so exciting. It was exhilarating to know. I was so excited to like watch it, and unfortunately, I do not at all like to watch currently airing anime. I tried doing it before when watching an anime that's currently airing, and I just couldn't stand the wait. Like, I'm a patient person, but when it comes to anime and when it comes to books and when things are like being published and being aired, I need to have the whole thing. I just need to have the whole thing. So I waited for quite a long time. It's quite a long time. Maybe 5 months after it was already aired. And even though it finished airing in September, I still hadn't watched it yet. It was because of all of the school stuff. So I didn't really have time to watch it, like sit down and have an emotional reunion with these characters, because I haven't like seen them in so long. And now here I am, literally just having seen it about 5 minutes ago, just finished the last episode, including listening to the ED, and I actually cried once in episode 11. I don't really know why. I assume it was tears of happiness, because I was so happy. I was so happy to experience these feelings again of Shirayuki and Zen being together. Oh my gosh. The last 3 episodes are probably the best episodes, obviously, since they're the end, but probably the best episodes because they didn't linger the whole process of, oh, these two like each other. but we're not gonna let them get together until like the very last minute. No, the only anime that I remember that happening in is in Kaijo wa Maid-sama and Special A. Those are my two biggest favorites, because if you've watched them, you know that they don't get together until the very last minute. The very last minute is just so frustrating. But then there are other anime where the characters get together really easily, and it happens in pretty much the beginning of the anime. Or in Monogatari, it's maybe 2-3 episodes into the anime, and the two main characters already got together. And it's out of 24 episodes, so you can imagine how much content there still was, even though they got together in the beginning. Because what happens in most rom-coms for anime and manga is that the point of the storyline is to see how these two characters communicate with each other, how they interact with each other, without any confessions, without any I love yous, and to see if it will go well or not. But yeah, back to the three last best episodes. Because episode 11, oh my goodness. Because the end of episode 10 is when Zen kisses Shirayuki. Like, kisses her on the lips. It wasn't just like, just a little peck on the forehead. It was on the lips. It was his first confession, and I completely forgot about that moment. So it actually did shock me, and I loved it to bits. And then in the next episode, when Obi convinces Shirayuki and Zen to just run off into the forest together, and then you have a crying Shirayuki and a Zen who feels so incredibly relieved because her answers are from the heart. Like, when you date for someone a long time, even about 4 months in, you start to realize what kind of person they really are. But you start to know them, and it can work out in two ways. One, he or she is not what you thought they were. Or two, they're everything you want. Sometimes it's pretty surprises and you're just, oh, I love all of this. You're so amazing. And probably not to that extent, but in a similar way. Because for Zen, I can't really tell how long it's been. It's probably been at least a year, more or less, a year together. They spent a lot of time together, and it's incredible for them. So he is relieved that she likes him from the bottom of her heart. And what he does is that he kneels in front of her. Not as a proposal to marriage, but just a proposal. Like, just, let's be lovers, basically. And it's really sweet. But then, what also happens after he says his little speech is that Shirayuki doesn't take his hand while sitting on the stone bench. She doesn't take his hand while sitting. She actually gets off and gets to the ground, well, kind of kneels like he does, so that they're both on equal standing, rather than a little higher than he is. Like, I don't know if the author purposely made it that way to make them have an equal standing, but that is how I'm seeing it, and I find that incredible. I really do. And then in episode 12, it's really kind of sad because it's the last episode for the season. And don't worry, there's a season 2, which is coming on January 12th, and I'm excited to wait until it's done airing, obviously. So there's going to be another season, and it's going to be even more fun times with Shirayuki and her little band of friends. And we're going to be meeting a few more new characters. Not a lot, but a few more. And we'll be able to become closer with the characters we already have. That might be all for this ARO. So, I guess that's it. Well, you'll hear from me next time. Bye. Yeah, I think that's probably it. It's more of just kind of a rant or kind of a conversation more with myself than with anyone else, or the camera, technically, or with technically a microphone. But yeah, I just wanted to do this because I usually talk a lot about what happened in the anime, and I was just like, hey, let's put my opinions on the internet and then come back to them maybe like a month later and see how stupid I really sound. I don't know. I just find it really funny. Like, I could probably talk about the other animes that I finished, but there was one anime I finished before this that I wanted to do a ARO for, but I didn't have the time, and I wasn't so sure about how I was going to talk about it, because I also read the manga before for that one too. And if anyone's curious, it was Monster Musume. Yeah, I read the manga for that beforehand, and then I watched the anime. So I'm probably not gonna do one because I'd rather do it an ARO within like about a week or two of watching the anime so that the information is still fresh in my mind. And so that I don't skip to a different anime when I've already finished it. It's just kind of complicated that way. So I'm rambling again. Oh, goodness gracious.